Alright guys, welcome back. Here I have another missile command board. It is complete. It has old junky Atari sockets which will need to be replaced. Just maintenance. It's dirty, very dirty. It does not have a crystal. It's missing a crystal, and it looks like it's got some funky repair work right here. So I'll probably remove this chip. And go over that really good. Do a proper trace repair on that. Otherwise, I don't see much as far as damage or anything like that. It's not bad. But yeah. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the sockets. Put new sockets in it. And I'm going to have to wash this board because it's pretty nasty. So, yep, that'll be first thing, sockets. I'll remove the sockets and then I'm going to wash it. So I'm getting ready to do a repair on a millipede board, or a missile command board. But I just repaired this Nintendo monitor, and I have right here the inverter board, and I've got a little adapter made for my harness. I'm using this Nintendo monitor for my other board repairs. So I'm just making sure with a board that I know is good that this is working right. And it looks beautiful. So now if nothing comes up on the screen or whatever, I know that the monitor is working. So now I'm going to go ahead and start on the missile command. Alright, I got all of the old sockets out of the board. There was a broken glass cap right there. It's a 0.1 microfarad. I removed that. It was busted. Got the CPU socket out. I got the pokey socket out. And I did trace repair on right here. And this was a complete disaster. I mean, I got homemade traces all over this board now, right here. This is the top side. The back side, once the chip is soldered in, I will fix the back side. Put a crystal in it. And that should be good. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to go ahead and put that chip in and make sure that is all squared away and put a crystal in it. Okay, I got all the chips put back in, all the sockets are done. Put new caps in it. And this is what I got. It's got video, but it's messed up video. So that is definitely in some kind of... I'm seeing multiple cursors and stuff like that. I'm going to look at counters. I'm going to go over the schematic though. I got the schematic pulled up back there. I'm going to look at the schematic and find out. Just look at the video section of it and decide what that most probably is. I got my scope hooked up to 10 megahertz because I'm checking my work here. And I got 10 megahertz. And then if I go over to 5, switch it over to the 5 megahertz, I got a good 5 megahertz. So that's good. So now I'm just going to hunt in the video section and find out what's causing that fault. So I'm going to look over the schematic and find out where I want to start looking. Just really quick, I did put it into test and it passes test. All the RAM are good. It comes up to this. Once again, it's kind of, I got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, everything's got, it's multiple lined. But everything passes, all the RAM passes, the ROM, the Pokey, all that passes. So that's good. The program is running. It's just got a video problem, which should be no big deal at all. So like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and go through the schematic and find out what could be causing that problem. Okay, what I'm thinking is, since I'm seeing like the vertical position of everything looks fine, but horizontally across the screen things are being drawn, the same image is being drawn in different places, and it's just kind of a jumbled mess. Like when the missile, see, you can see 4 cursors, see that? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the entire horizontal count. Yeah, because it looks like there's like 4 of everything all over the place, kind of. It's just kind of weird looking. So that's what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to look right here. I'm going to start with this guy. I already checked 5 megahertz coming off of here, and that's fine. That's where the 5 megahertz signals comes from. That's fine. I'm going to start right here and look at 1H, 2H, 4 all the way up to horizontal blank. I'm going to check all of those signals. That's the first thing I'm going to hook up to and check. Okay, as you can see, I am all hooked up to the horizontal count from 1H to horizontal blank. You can see, let me stop it. Oops. You got 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Okay, where was I? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. That's 128, and that is horizontal blank. So these all look wonderful. So our horizontal lines are good. I don't have to worry about that. The horizontal sync lines all look perfect. So I will move on from there and kind of branch out from there and look at the schematic and find out where to go next. Okay, I verified that all of my horizontal sync lines are good. Now I'm hooked up to the vertical sync lines, and you can see these are perfect all the way down. I'm hooked up to, what is it, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. So they are all looking great. You can go ahead and kind of spread them out. You see how good they look. Those counts are perfect. Okay, so horizontal lines are good, vertical lines are good. I'm going to continue in the sync circuitry because I'm thinking that there's going to be something funky in the sync circuitry. I mean, it could very well just be video, something in the video generation, but I want to eliminate the sync section first. So that's what I'm going to do, is just probe around and check all of my sync lines. But I know that my vertical and my horizontals are all good, so we'll move on from there. Okay, with this missile command board, I decided to just go ahead and take a minute to replace some of the nastiest looking chips on here. Some of them were really rusted out and legs were falling apart. It looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 chips I just took right out of the board and I'm replacing. Just right off the bat, just, you know, really rusted out, nasty chips, a little maintenance. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to repopulate what I've removed and continue on to see what's going on with this board. Okay, I got those chips replaced. The 13 that I took out, and I had to burn a new prom for right here, and I socketed it. So I got it turned on. I'm getting the same thing. It's doing the same thing. So, which is, you know, that's fine. Sometimes you'll fix it, sometimes not. Get down. But, yeah, so I got the nastiness off the board. Most of it, anyway. So I will continue on. Well, guys, sometimes you get lucky. And this is one of the reasons why I replace nasty chips. I just took, instead of hooking this up right away, and it's good sometimes just to go through and jump chips and see if you get a difference. I have a 153. There's 153s here, and there's 153s right here. So I was just going to take my 153 and jump it on all of these muxes really quick, just to see if it would make a difference on the screen. I got to this one right here, the third one I tried, right here. You can see I got it jumped over there. And that was the problem. Just that one mux. So it was an addressing. I knew it was an addressing issue because the data looked correct. Right? You could see the cursor. You could see everything you could see. It was the positioning of everything was messed up. And that is going to always be addressing. Addresses determine where stuff is on the screen. So I just went through the addressing muxes one at a time, and I found it. It really was that easy. Now I can hook up the analyzer, and we can analyze this 153 right here and find out exactly what it's doing. You know, let's do that just for fun. instead of hooking up to all of these and individually going through them all, which is what I would have had to do, I just decided to jump them. So let's go ahead and hook up to this guy and see what it is doing or what it isn't doing or whatever. Okay, so now I am hooked up to this mux. And I have a snapshot here of it. And this is a pretty good example right here. Let me disable that. These are your two select bits. This is A, this is B. And then you have 0, 1, 2, 3. Those are your 3 inputs. And here's your output. And you can see right here it's selecting 3. 1, 1. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. It'll be low, and it is low. And then now here it's selecting 2, 0, 1, 0, 2. 0, 1, 2, so it should be low, and it stays low. Now here it's selecting 1, it's 0, 1, so 0, 1, it should have stayed low. Now it goes and it selects 3, so it sends that, that's fine, sends that pulse. And then here it's selecting 2, 0, 1, 2, which is low, it goes low. And here it's selecting 1, 0, 1, it should have stayed low, but it's got a pulse. That should not be there. And then it selects 3, there should have been a pulse here. It's like pulsing twice as much as it should. This one should be here. This one should be here. And this one should be here. And it looks like this one should be here as well. Now here we have 1, 0, 1, so that is going to pulse there, and then it goes back to 0. 0, 1, which is 1, 0, 1, so it'll pulse there. It's like it's pulsing, like right here, it's pulsing twice as much as it should. And that'll cause that. 3 is the only input that's high right here. And the only time it selects 3 is here, here, and here, and here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pulses here. So that is an issue. It's just not correct. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that guy. Okay, there is the new mux, and it's the very same mux that I was using to jump it. I got it soldered into the board. I got my trackball hooked up. I have it in test. Right now it is in test. And I will move the trackball. You can see it moves left, right, right and left and up and down. It's all good. Everything checks out good. Go ahead and turn it out a test. There it is. The one thing it is, okay, it's in English now, but we got a funky dip switch. See, I can just touch the dip switches and it. Yeah, it's working. I don't know. These dip switches are a little funky. But yeah, it's working. Look at this. See that? The defend is like That was weird. What was that all about? Yeah, see, now it's not, it just went into German or whatever that is. These dip switches are no good. This dip switch right here is no good. See, I can just kind of touch it, and now it's, yeah, it's just no good. I'm going to have to replace both of these dip switches. So I'll do that. Okay, sound test. I'm not going to bore you with the details of replacing these, but I am going to do a sound test. Here's coin and start. You can hear it works. Just got to wait for the missiles to come down and blow stuff up. And here it is, right here. And looks like everything's gonna go down. As always, thanks for watching, and subscribe and hit the little dingy bell thing and you'll know when the next one's coming up. I got another Missile Command coming. I got some other Atari black and white stuff coming up. I got a couple Warlords boards coming up. And another Asteroids. That's all. That's what I know of. I think I have another Williams board set coming, Robotron, and another Donkey Kong. So yeah, stay tuned.